Is fish oil beneficial for Crohn's and ulcerative colitis? If you look up online, you're going to see a lot of answers that say yes, because it's omega-3, it has to be anti-inflammatory, it's therefore going to be good for your gut. Tons of people are recommending supplement with fish oil, but is that really what the research shows? We're going to get into that answer in today's video, so stay tuned. My name is Dr. Sean Golden, and I use natural research-based strategies to help people gain freedom from their chronic health conditions. And again, in this video, we're going to go over what the truth is about fish oil, because unfortunately, recommendations are being made throughout most of the internet that actually the research isn't showing to be the case. Now, this isn't going to be all of a downer, because I am going to give you a suggestion that actually will work. However, when it comes to fish oil, we've had multiple clinical trials investigate fish oil when it comes to Crohn's and ulcerative colitis, and the vast majority showed that it was not effective. And even if it was effective, like statistically, the clinical significance was very, very small. I'll link those studies below if you want to look at the research for yourself. But again, just to summarize over here, usually they gave between 1 to 5 grams of fish oil. Usually they use very high quality fish oil too, to those with Crohn's and ulcerative colitis. And while some of them got some results, the majority got usually discouraging results that wouldn't be super meaningful clinically to a person who has Crohn's and ulcerative colitis. What I mean by that is usually the difference would be so small they wouldn't even notice a reduction in symptoms, because there's a natural ebb and flow when it comes to Crohn's and colitis anyway. And so over time, they wouldn't really notice if they had much of a difference or not. We do know, though, that omega-3s are anti-inflammatory. So how come fish oil doesn't work in the gut where you have all of this inflammation when it comes to Crohn's and ulcerative colitis? And one of the big reasons is actually what our modern day diet it consists of and what we're already consuming. Because if you go through the research on omega-3s with a fine-tooth comb, what you find is it's not just the omega-3s that matter. It ends up being that the ratio between omega-3s to omega-6s are what matters. And if you are consuming a lot of omega-6s in your diet already, sprinkling a tiny bit of omega-3s, which is that 1 to 5 grams, and 5 grams, by the way, is already a lot when it comes to supplements for omega-3s. When you're sprinkling on a little bit of omega-3s on your diet, but many people are consuming dozens and dozens of omega-6 of grams of omega-6 every day. And so the ratio doesn't change that much. If you're consuming this many omega-6s and your omega-3 bumps up a tiny bit, the ratio just doesn't change all that much. And so you don't notice a big change in symptoms. This is different than the animal studies. And this shows why the animal studies, like rodent studies, where they do supplement with omega-3s and fish oil, get such positive results, because in the animal studies, they give them so many omega-3s that the omega-3 to 6 ratio changes like crazy. And there's one particular study where they really changed that ratio a ton, and they found that it had a drastic influence on the level of inflammation in the rodents with a colitis type of condition. And so, again, the reason that doesn't work in humans is because we're not changing our omega-6 intake. We're just sprinkling a tiny bit of omega-3s on top, and the ratio just doesn't change that much. So what's a better strategy? A better strategy is actually to reduce what's contributing to some of that inflammation in the first place, which there's many different causes, of course, but one in terms of diet are the omega-6s. Omega-6s are found in vegetable oils like soybean oil, corn oil, safflower oil. Canola oil has a little bit less, but it still has some. All of the different types of vegetable oils that they use, that you'll find in restaurants, that you cook sometimes at home if you're using vegetable oil, that's used in chips and all packaged and processed foods. If you look in the ingredients, it says vegetable oil or soybean or safflower or sunflower or corn oil. If you go down the aisles in the grocery stores, it's in everything. And that was not the case 100 years ago. A little over 100 years ago, it was hard to fit dozens of grams of omega 6s into our diet because we didn't have the type of modern day food processing where we were able to extract those oils out. But now that we do, and the vegetable oils happen to be the cheapest of all of the oils, that's what the restaurants use to cook their foods in. That's what all of the snack foods use. All of the packaged and processed foods, we are getting overloaded with omega 6s. And omega 6s promote inflammation in general, whereas omega 3s are almost the opposite of omega 6s, and they reduce inflammation and can help resolve inflammation over time. So if you want to supplement with a fish oil pill, you're more than welcome to. However, I wouldn't stop there. I would try to decrease your omega 6 intake as much as possible. And you likely have many different ways that omega 6s are hiding in your diet from the foods that you're buying. And this doesn't have to turn into something restrictive. This doesn't mean you have to go on a very restrictive diet and not eat any oils, because there's a lot of other options that you could choose from. You could choose healthier snacks. If you know what you're looking for, you can look at the ingredients and make sure that the snacks you're buying do not have these vegetable oils in them. And then you'll be doing yourself a favor by doing that. So, big overview is the reason that omega 3 supplements usually give poor results in humans is because we're consuming a whopping ton of omega 6s, and we need to change that ratio overall. Now, if you want to go a little bit deeper into this, I do have a completely free mini online course that's in the description below if you want to check that out, where I go a little bit deeper into all of this and I give a lot more examples, a little bit more to make sure that you're consuming less omega 6s and consuming more omega 3s, and what the best type of omega 3s actually are, because your standard fish oil pills are not going to be the best type of omega 3s. Besides that, I go into the beneficial types of carbs and the not so beneficial types of carbs, the good types of fiber and the not good types of fiber, and the good and the bads when it comes to proteins as well. It's a full overview of all of the different diet components, all of the different macronutrients, and which ones are more or less beneficial when it comes to Crohn's. And that can really help you gain some freedom from your condition. So I highly encourage you to take that opportunity and go in the link below, or go to the link in the description below and check that out for yourself, because I think it can truly help you. Until then, try to lower your omega 6 intake as much as possible. Look out for the hidden fats. And if you're going out to eat at restaurants all the time, unless you're going to very, very specific restaurants that make sure that they use olive oil or something else that's not vegetable oil, I would just assume that they're using vegetable oil, which is predominantly omega 6s, because they're the cheapest and they're going to want to save money. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this cleared up why many people who try to take fish oils don't really get the results that they're looking for, and how you can get better results by lowering your omega 6s and changing that ratio, like I was just describing in this video. So hope this was helpful, and I'll see you again next time. Take care.